Hundreds gathered in Franklin County to remember a longtime fire chief. VT Slim Crawford of Scruggs Fire and Rescue died last week. 10 News reporter Irisha Jones talked with several people at his memorial service who say Scruggs was not just a chief, but their mentor and friend.
We have laughed, sometimes disagreed, but we remain friends.
For many people Wednesday, it was hard to hold back emotions as they describe how much VT Slim Crawford meant to them. Crawford was chief of the Scruggs Volunteer Fire and Rescue for more than 40 years.
He's an icon here. We'll always remember him. Look at the fire station and what he's done. He and Jane Crawford put us where we are today.
This is a procession of fire trucks in Franklin County from Westlake Baptist Church to the station where he spent most of his days.
He's probably taught me to exist in a different world and do a good job at being a firefighter.
Chief Crawford started the Scruggs station with his wife, a captain at the department. He retired in 2014.
From 1974 up to the time he passed, he was up here almost every single day of his life.
But it's the memories outside of work people will miss the most.
When we got out of the car for church, he wasn't in the car next to us. So that's what I'm going to miss.
As each person spoke at the podium, they shared the memories with a standing room only crowd and gave a final salute to his uniform hung on a fire truck.
I don't think we'll ever get over, but I think we'll move on and make him proud.
In Franklin County, Irisha Jones, 10 News, working for you.